Hey there, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, all water signs, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Welcome back to Higher Source Tarot. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. It's really fun to see new subscribers pop up, and I really enjoy your comments too, so thanks for that. This is going to be your weekly reading from November 17th through the 24th, okay? So if you're a water sign or you have water in your chart somewhere, you are in the right place. Last week I had a comment about human trafficking and why readers always read the Justice card as divorce or some kind of a legal thing, and why don't they ever read it as human trafficking. Well, I have quite a bit of training. In order to be licensed how I am, I have to have it in human trafficking. And where I live, we have a huge problem. I live in a decent sized city. It's low crime for the most part. You know, in any city you're going to have some crime, but it's certainly not a dangerous city. It's like been voted in magazines as one of the best cities to raise a family, things like that. Well, anyway, what the problem that we have going on here are not the people in, you know, neighborhoods that do have a lot of crime and issues with drugs and stuff with 25 bucks in their pocket looking for a prostitute. It's not those people. It's a lot of these middle class, upper middle class professionals that are sustaining it where I live. And they're doing things like, you know, getting a connection, let's call it that, and getting hotel rooms or even having these young women over to their house. And they have, you know, they're spending a couple $100 every 6 weeks, and that's what sustains it. We've had, in fact, I know of one that was a manager, sales manager of a very high-end car dealership that was doing that. Behind his wife's back. And that's the kind of stuff we see here, where it's not the people that I think, you know, on the outside, they're basically living a double life, and they are sustaining an epidemic. So be vigilant. Why do I not read human trafficking when I see the Justice card? It's just energy. It's how do you read the energy of the cards, and that's not the predominant energy. But since you brought it up, it makes me feel like it was kind of divinely guided. So that's my answer on that, and a short talk on human trafficking, because it is something, you know, it's horrible for our community. So anyway, let's hear what is going on first off with Cancer. All right, now it doesn't necessarily mean it's for, well, it could be for this week, but it could also be expanded beyond the week, okay? You've got, starting off, this is in the past, the world, temperance. What's interesting about this is I actually had to redo this reading because my dog started barking, and temperance was in the exact same spot, Cancer. Three of Wands was in it too. So you have a lot of the same cards coming up, so it tells me for somebody, this is somebody's reading for sure. Okay, yeah, all right. So bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. So what I think happened here, you were, you know, going with the flow, but you were in a relationship, but there was definitely some immaturity. I think you were either misled or misinterpreted where the relationship was going. And I do think it was a relationship that ended. You know, again, it seemed like there was a lot of, I guess, conviviality and, I don't know, just childish is kind of what I get when I see this in this particular case. Sometimes it's just not very, can be very short term and not very stable. However, with temperance, that's again with like go with the flow and kind of being relaxed with it. So it may not have been that devastating of a blow, because it might have been at the time you just kind of thought, you know, this is not really a long-term thing anyway. It could have been you too, that you were just not really that into it. But what I do see with the Three of Wands and the Ten of Wands is another crack at this is going to be coming up and coming to fruition. So I think somebody, either you're waiting for somebody to come back into your life, or they're waiting on you. That Three of Wands for sure is like somebody's waiting for something. I do think though, it's not going to be, it's just not going to go anywhere. I think with this Ten of Wands, it's going to be more work than it's worth. And I also think too with the Devil here, it could be a Capricorn. If it's a Capricorn you're dealing with, then I'd say for sure. I don't think you're going to be at any risk of being hurt here, Cancer, but I just don't think you're all that interested in who it is. So the upcoming energy with this, you've got the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. I do think what it's going to be is you're going to get some puny little immature offer that you're not going to be interested in. And I think you are going to keep moving on. I don't see this as being particularly painful for you. I think you're kind of on the fence with it anyway, whoever this is, and any kind of a, future reunion with them. I choose happiness. Memo to self. Remember to enjoy the miracle of existence today. So if you want to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality. So there's little things that I do. Like, for instance, I have this cat, and if you've been watching for a while, you might hear him occasionally. He was not my cat. He was actually left with me. And for a while, I was kind of pissed off about it and thinking, why am I always the one that has to rescue animals, and people just think they can leave stuff with me like a cat? Well, why? Because they know I'll take care of it. That's why. It's the same thing at work. People say, well, if you keep doing all this work, they're going to keep giving it to you. But I decided at one point with the cat, because I kind of went back and forth about forcing its original owner to take it back. And I even had a police officer tell me, well, leave it at animal control, and they'll call this person and basically say you need to come and get the cat. But then I decided, you know what, I want to be light about it. I don't want to keep thinking of it as an abandoned animal. I just kind of accept, like, hey, this is my cat now, and he's a cool cat. He's funny, and he's a beautiful animal, but he does kind of cry a lot, and that gets a little bit old. But I decided, you know what? He keeps life interesting, and he's mine, and I'm just going to take it like that. So, as you go along and go out into the world, just be light. Wear the world like a loose-fitting garment. How about that? So this is for Scorpio. Scorpio here. Could be, interesting. Could be an air sign you're dealing with. Looks like... yeah, could be an Aquarius. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, this could for sure be you. All right, if you're dealing with an Aquarius and you are looking for a relationship, then I would stay tuned on this one. You at some point, I think you made a big change somewhere along the way in the past and moved away from something that just wasn't going anywhere and just wasn't, it might have been something that seemed fun and was comfortable for a while, and it got to the point that it just wasn't, and you moved on, and you wanted to invest in yourself. And I'm not big into quoting the Bible, but there's a book called The Untethered Soul that is not about the Bible, but it's by Michael Singer, and he really talks about the ego and the energy that's within us, that source energy. But anyway, he quotes and says, and I think people know this, Jesus was an actual person, a great healer, and he said we must die to be reborn. So with this death card, whoops, I just threw the 9 of Pentacles, the single lady card over. With this death card, though, this is not always a bad thing. This is a good thing, because you cannot change your life with the same personality that created it. If you want different things in your life, you have to energetically change. Okay, so like when we study neuroscience and we study energy, there's particles, right? There's mass of energy and particles, and there's wave energy. If you want to be in that higher vibrational energy to manifest, you have to be more wave. So that could very well be too. You definitely took some time to yourself here, Scorpio, and could be that you were intuitively guided, that you even maybe went to a psychic or something like that, but you took some time, considered your options carefully, looked over what you could have, and I don't think you were in any big hurry here. I think you were in a very good place, and you are in a very good place right now. So I think, for you, you're feeling confident and feeling good about the situation. And if that's you, and you feel like, yeah, I am high vibrational, I see the things that are coming into my life and they're very positive, you are going to be in for a real treat here coming up. I tell you what, you cannot get better than this. The Star, the Sun, and then the Two of Cups. Whatever is going to come up for you, if it's an Aquarius, if it's, a Leo, it's going to be true love. Whoever this is for, you have a real soul-to-soul connection here, and it's going to be full of vitality and fun and freedom and, purity. It's one of those relationships where you are going to be incredibly secure, confident. I think somebody here is going to get married. Whoever this is for, I definitely think there's going to be an offer here. But it's not going to be puny. The Page of Cups does tend to be kind of a puny little offer. But in this case, this is not small energy. This is really beautiful energy. So your Louise Hay card, it is safe to ask for help. When you fear you can't do it all by yourself, maybe it's a sign you don't have to. When you stop trying to do it all by yourself, help appears. So it could be going from that single lady into the Star card, where look at these two together. She's covered up from head to toe, very prim and proper, and the Star is like free as a bee, not a care in the world. And, it could be very well that you are transitioning over from being the single lady into being somebody that's going to have a ring on it, Scorpio. Very nice. For those of you that are interested in love, I don't see money in this reading, so for those of you that wanted that, sorry. Not for you. All right, next, Wheel of Fortune here. 10 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. Justice. Not getting human trafficking for those of you that wanted that. 2 of Swords. Page of Swords. King of Wands here. Knight of Wands. Very interesting. And then Magician. Oh, I like that. Okay, so this is for Pisces. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. For Pisces here, if you were dealing with you could have earth, air, or fire. I don't see any water here. I think there was a change. You had some kind of a turning point in your past that was very good for you, and your life changed. You became a lot more stable. You got happier with your, everything around you with that 10 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. You both have, these are both 10s, so these are concluding a cycle. I feel like even though it's not represented here, I feel like you changed from a situation that was very negative for you. And for some of you, I think somebody here got into recovery from alcohol, that there was somebody that was drinking too much, started a brand new beginning and got really stable with the 6 of Pentacles. I do think with the Justice card and the 2 of Swords, this can actually be too, the things that you have been doing, you're going to get justice. That it's not always a negative, like somebody really screwed you over. Could also be that your hard work is going to pay off this week. The things that you have been building in your life are going to come to fruition, and you're going to have some kind of a choice to make. The Page of Swords comes in, and he's not really a great communicator because he just doesn't know how to use that sword very well. So this week, Pisces, be very careful with what you say. If somebody, it could also be too, somebody's been doing some checking in on you, and with this 2 of Swords, you're kind of up in your head and not really paying a whole lot of attention to them, but they're going to come rushing towards you. You are going to get huge communication this week. The King of Wands, he is, and even the Knight of Wands too, very creative energy. I think you could be inspired to do something. This could potentially be at work too for you, because there's so many pentacles here, and then with this too, if there's been something in your career too, whatever changes you made in the past are influencing things today in a really positive way, where there's some kind of an inspiration or new creative path that you're going to be going on. And with the Magician, you can basically do anything. You have the world at your fingertips. If you've been, meditating and quieting your mind and aligning your energy and getting the mind, body, spirit connection really in tune, because we don't tune out energy. Like when I hear people saying they're using crystals to block energy, you don't need to do that. We don't need to tune out. We just need to tune in. And that's what you're going to be doing. Whoever this is for is going to be very tuned in to that higher vibrational energy. And pretty much anything you want is going to be yours, okay? I love that. Oh, and I love this card. This makes total sense. I love this. I create my future today. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Very nice cards here, all of you. I hope you have a lovely week ahead. I know many of us are preparing for Thanksgiving in the United States here, so if you live here, probably getting ready for that. If you don't live here, then it's probably irrelevant to you. But either way, thank you for watching today and subscribing, and I love you, water signs, and I'll see you again next week.